Salutations, people of the internet, welcome to the database, and welcome to the Month of Sponge 2024, where I discuss anything SpongeBob related for the month of May. Why in May? SpongeBob and I share the same starting month in separate years. To continue the celebration of the sponge, I think it makes sense for this channel to review a video game of sorts. You may think I might start off with SpongeBob Battle for Bikini Bottom, but not yet. I still need more time with that game to formulate a proper skip. For now, I want to discuss the most recent SpongeBob game in the lineup, released last year, being the first proper 3D SpongeBob game since the video game version of SpongeBob's Truth or Square in 2009. Developed by Purple Lamp Studios and published by THQ Nordic, SpongeBob The Cosmic Shake came off after the campaign success of the release of SpongeBob Battle for Bikini Bottom Rehydrated, a remake released in 2020. And while the quality of the remake is mixed by many fans compared to the 2003 original, there are still tons of people that loved it and want to see more SpongeBob platformers in this style. Purple Lamp Studios also made that remake prior to the Cosmic Shake, so they have some experience when it comes to making SpongeBob games. I haven't played the remake, but I played the original game several times. But later down the line, when I go out of my way of buying the remake, I'll make sure to record footage of me playing the original as well. And no worries, I'll stay away from the Nintendo Switch port. There's no time to delay, let's dive into the Bikini Bottom multiverse and swim towards SpongeBob The Cosmic Shake. Footage for the game will be captured through the PlayStation 5. The story begins with SpongeBob and Patrick planning on going to Glove World. However, upon arrival, our Sponge and Starfish duo stumble upon a fortune teller shop, where they meet Madame Cassandra.
Allow me to introduce myself. My name is Madame Cassandra, purveyor of long-lost treasures of the Seven Seas.
Gee, I wonder who the main villain is in this game. It's here where Cassandra gifts SpongeBob and Patrick with magical bubble soap that can grant any wish. As SpongeBob plays around with the bubble soap, Patrick reads the soap's label, realizing that it's something no mortal should be messing around with, as it's actually the property of King Neptune.
It is even funnier the second time!
This causes the bubbles to go out of control, splitting Bikini Bottom into several wish worlds. That also grants the wishes of his friends as well. Example here, Patrick's wish leads him to becoming a balloon that tags along with you for the adventure. So, in order to repair Bikini Bottom, SpongeBob must collect enough cosmic jelly throughout each world and give them to Madame Cassandra to fix, while at the same time rescue some of his friends that are trapped into these wish worlds, including SpongeBob's Pineapple House and Patrick's Rock. All of these worlds are accessed through different costumes Cassandra gifts you, using all the cosmic jelly you've collected. The wish worlds in this game take existing locations from the SpongeBob show and adds a small twist to them, from your Halloween-themed rock bottom to a pirate-themed Goo Lagoon, all ending with you traversing through a dark horror-themed glove world covered with cosmic jelly and taken over by a Patrick-obsessed gloved mascot. With all of the friends rescued and Bikini Bottom cleaned from all the cosmic jelly, Cassandra reveals her true intentions in front of SpongeBob and Patrick, using the cosmic jelly to take over the entire ocean. That's where King Neptune steps in, and it's revealed that Cassandra stole the magic bubble soap from Neptune. After Cassandra transforms an interrupting Squidward into a jelly monster, this leads to a final boss fight with the jelly monster Squidward and Cassandra, using the same attack approach as the glove mascot from before. After successfully defeating Jelly Squidward, Cassandra gets banished through a portal, putting everything back to normal. As a reward for saving Bikini Bottom and the world, King Neptune gives SpongeBob one free wish. However, the story ends with Patrick stupidly wishing to do the entire adventure all over again. Whoopee. As a platformer, SpongeBob the Cosmic Shake operates the same as Battle for Bikini Bottom. But to keep things fair and to fit this review in a separate vacuum, I want to review this game as its own separate thing. Sure, Battle for Bikini Bottom is one of, if not the best SpongeBob game in its library, but there's nothing wrong with giving this game a chance. For the entire adventure, you're controlling SpongeBob across 7 different wish worlds. All the worlds are connected through a single hub world of Bikini Bottom, where you can find most of the show's favorite characters and locations, from SpongeBob's house and neighborhood to the Krusty Krab and the Chum Bucket. When it comes to SpongeBob's moveset, he uses his Bubble Wand as a basic spin attack. This is used to destroy enemies in tiki boxes that contain cosmic jelly. As you unlock more wish worlds, you unlock more moves for SpongeBob to play around with, from a super ground pound to a grappling hook to swing across huge gaps. My favorite of course goes to the Karate Kick ability, which is essentially this game's own sonic homing attack. While all the enemies are jelly based, the game provides a nice variety of enemy types to keep the combat a little fresh. There are some enemies where you can throw a bubble at in order to stun them. Problem with this technique is that you can only launch one bubble at a time, and it has a long cooldown time, and if you manage to trap an enemy in a bubble, you still have to approach them and spin attack them to finish them off. Other than that, much like Sonic the Hedgehog, you can home in on enemies with SpongeBob's Karate Kick. Some larger enemies require a ground pound to stun them, while others require you to fill up SpongeBob's Reef Blower, which kinda acts like a vacuum-based guns from Ratchet & Clank games. Referencing SpongeBob, Sonic, and Ratchet & Clank in one video, I'm on a roll. Collectibles in this game are as linear and straightforward as the staged level design you traverse through. Outside the costumes Cassandra gives you during your campaign, unlocking more costumes for SpongeBob to wear requires players to collect the Flying Dutchman's gold doubloons. And what I like about all the costumes in this game is that they're all references to specific episodes of the main show, from SpongeBob SquarePants from Pest of the West to Caveman SpongeBob from SB129. DLC content is also featured in this game that gives you more costume to dress up in, including a uniform from Band Geeks. While there are costumes that are gifted to you in missions such as the Flying Dutchman costume to a golden SpongeBob if you manage to find all the gold doubloons. Other collectibles in this game include finding Spot, Plankton's pet amoeba, in all the main wish worlds, secondary mission that lets you run through the wish worlds a second time after beating the main objective, golden underwear that increases SpongeBob's health, and golden spatula that reward you with this game's in-game achievements. In-game achievements are a thing in this game if you're going for 100% completion or a platinum trophy on PlayStation. Most of them you'll accomplish as you play the game, while rest of them require replaying stages and boss fights in the game. Though bosses in this game can only be replayed after finishing the main story. Speaking of the main story, let's discuss all the game's stages next. Starting off with the Wild West Jellyfish Fields, a neat beginner stage that helped introduce players to the game's mechanics, and it even featured this game's main gimmick of riding Mystery the Seahorse in a couple of auto rail sections.
I can't find the coin slot! Here it is!
It's in this stage where we rescue Mr. Krabs, who plays as a red bandit that tried to trick SpongeBob and Patrick into stealing cactus juice for profit. And you'll see this a lot in all the other Wish Worlds, where you see SpongeBob characters as different versions of themselves. Example here in the next stage, Karate Downtown Bikini Bottom, while we rescue Sandy Cheeks in this world, we see Squidward as the head director of an action film. In this world, SpongeBob is a main star in Squidward's film. This leads to an epic climactic battle at the end of the stage and a boss fight against Sandy. This stage is also unique for having this beat-em-up auto-scroller and a Subway Surfer-like chase scene. Pirate Goo Lagoon was a fun stage with many memorable moments and landmarks, and it's probably my favorite stage in the game. It starts off with SpongeBob helping out the Flying Dutchman get his pirate ship back from Admiral Prawn by gathering socks. Yes, it's the same Prawn character that made his debut from Battle from Bikini Bottom.
Personally, I thought pink made you very pretty.
Really?
Sure, pretty stupid.
The stage has a nice balance of platforming and good use of the grappling hook ability. In addition to the main objective, we have small side stories of finding treasure for Captain Krabs, to playing the drunken sailor song for a mermaid. I don't mind the close-up jokes, as they are part of many SpongeBob jokes in the original. They just feel naked without any background music. There are some instances of using the same original soundtrack for the original show, but you barely hear them because they only play a few seconds of it before any interruption. Halloween Rock Bottom is where SpongeBob finds and rescues Gary, who has turned into a large monster after consuming too much candy. It is here where we trick or treat across different houses of Rock Bottom, setting up a neat light show that reveals the hash-slinging slasher. And it's the only time where we see SpongeBob transform into a snail, and it's never brought up again afterwards.
Meow!
Prehistoric kelp forest is where SpongeBob and Patrick turn into non-verbal cavemen as they save Squidward or Squog from a prehistoric pearl. And I'm not gonna lie, having them not speak in proper English is probably the best part of this world. This world is filled with the most fire and lava hazard, and it's where SpongeBob learns how to roll on a boulder. Yes, many of these gimmicks are one-time uses. You may find them all across the home world, but let's be real here. You'll barely use them, as using the game's dodge mechanic is the most common use of fast travel. Medieval Sulphur Fields is where we rescue Pearl, Mr. Krabs' whale daughter. As somewhat foreshadowed in Prehistoric Kelp Forest, Pearl rules this world as their royal princess. It is here where she decides to host a big slumber party that features this minigame of SpongeBob delivering baked pies to its guests, while also avoiding jelly enemies and a fish witch. Why is there a fish witch? Well, earlier, SpongeBob and Patrick accidentally broke their magic bubble wand that lets them teleport to different wish worlds, and it's here where they seek help from this fish witch to repair it. Finally, we arrive at the stage that has been built up since the beginning of the game, Jelly Glove World. It's here where Patrick doesn't tag along with us for the whole stage, as he's held hostage by the Glove World mascot. It's here where you can win some gold doubloons from playing some of Glove World's amusement park games. Some are pathetically easy, while others make some good use of SpongeBob's moveset. It's also here where SpongeBob rescues the Krusty Krab, and speaking of which, in the Bikini Bottom hub world between the Chum Bucket and the Krusty Krab is a patty flipping minigame. Here you must press the corresponding buttons at the right time, making a minimum amount of Krabby Patties. Would you believe me, this was the only minigame in the whole game? It's a good thing that this game is carried through the game's cutscenes and sense of SpongeBob humor. It would really be a very short adventure. My final ranking for SpongeBob SquarePants The Cosmic Shake on PlayStation 5 is an A rank. It's a very short adventure that could take up 4 to 6 hours to finish on a normal run. But if you're going to get a platinum trophy or planning on unlocking all the in-game achievements, I'd argue that this game is worth the $30 price tag. For many new SpongeBob fans, this is perfectly fine as someone's first SpongeBob video game, because the game gives on-screen tutorial tips when introducing the game's mechanics and other gimmicks. And for familiar SpongeBob fans that played its series of games, it's a refreshing take on the platforming formula Battle for Bikini Bottom laid out. My only critique that I have with this game is the use of Patrick. Sure, he's a balloon and he does save us from hazardous pits here and there, and sure, he does offer us a spare underwear when SpongeBob is low on health, but I was hoping that this game would expand upon using Patrick the balloon starfish as an extension of SpongeBob's moveset, at least incorporating some of Patrick's moves from Battle from Bikini Bottom and the movie game, but with SpongeBob. Other than that, all the other characters deliver fun interaction that bring out this game's humor, even if they're only NPCs. Heck, they brought in the My Leg guy from the pirate world.
My leg!
Also, it's nice to hear Clancy Brown as Mr. Krabs in any SpongeBob video game, unlike the fake Mr. Krabs that voiced him in Battle for Bikini Bottom. But what do you guys think of SpongeBob the Cosmic Shake? Which Wish World did you enjoy? What is your favorite SpongeBob costume to wear in the game? Let me know in the comment. I'm Christopher James, and this has been the 2024 Month of Sponge.
It takes all